Missing someone.
Alright, so hello everyone. Today on my channel I'm doing something a little bit different, and I'm doing a cook with me. Over the last handful of months, cooking is something that just kind of has become fun for me, and I wanted to go ahead and film a video about it since I'm trying to post more on my channel. So today we are going to be making chicken noodle soup. I've made this recipe about 5 times now, and it's a favorite amongst everyone who's tried it. So yeah, I'm gonna be making that as well as some grilled cheese. And yeah, for the most part today you're just going to be seeing my hands because I'm going to prop up the tripod I got to film just like the counter and stuff. I feel like this video might be on the longer side, so let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so this is pretty much the angle you're gonna be seeing stuff from for the duration of the video, but hi, I'm right here. So this is kind of our spread of stuff that we need. We have a rotisserie chicken, some vegetable broth, salt, pepper, bay leaves, basil, oregano, celery, carrots, and egg noodles. This recipe also calls for an onion, but my family's not really onion people, so we got rid of that one. Today I'm doing just half of what the recipe calls for, because I find that when I make the whole thing, my family doesn't really use it. So let's go ahead and get started. So first let's start by prepping everything that we need. So move all this to the side. We'll start with the carrots. The recipe I use calls for a cup of them, but since I'm just doing half, I'm just gonna do half a cup. Obviously, it's math, that's how math works. Let me just rinse these off really quick. Also, I feel like at this point with YouTube Cook With Me that should go without saying, but I did wash my hands. I cut them just down the center like this, and then in rings, or half rings, I guess. I'm not using these carrots because I filled this half cup up, so I'm gonna go ahead and just toss these back in the bag. Just gonna go ahead and dump them into just this little like ice cream dish thing because I need this to cut up the celery now. We're just gonna go ahead and start with 1 stalk because it says on the direction sheet that 1 cup is about 2, and again I'm only making half, so we're gonna go ahead and start with just this one. Basically how I cut this is just straight down the middle. And then I just do these in little rows like this. So as you saw, I ended up doing a 2nd stalk because it didn't end up being enough, but I'm just gonna leave this in this cup because this is the last half cup of something that I need to measure. I have my chicken here, and yeah. So this is what it looks like, ta-da. The recipe calls for 2.5 cups of rotisserie chicken, so half that, it's 1 1/4 cup. So I kind of just peel it right off the carcass, oh my god, carcass. Keeping up with way too many political news stories. So I just kind of use my fingers to shred this chicken. Then it says it needs a tablespoon of butter, but we're obviously gonna half that again. So I'm just gonna do this and then cut this in half. I'm gonna need butter for the grilled cheese, so we're just gonna set the other half aside as well as the rest of this stick. So there's the butter that I need. Now we're gonna go ahead and measure the seasonings. I'm just gonna set them out on this plate here just so we have a good idea. And my measuring spoons. We're gonna need a 1/4 teaspoon oregano, 1/4 teaspoon basil, 1/4 teaspoon salt, 1/4 teaspoon pepper. So here's my basil. Put that there. Oregano. Here we have my pepper. Salt. I don't want this to overflow. Salt. bay leaf. Then I have this little can of like pre-minced garlic. It looks disgusting, but it doesn't expire until 2021, so we're still good. About 1.5 teaspoons of minced garlic is about 1 clove, so that's how much we're gonna do. Let me make sure. And then we need 9 cups of chicken broth. So the recipe calls for, what does it call for? 9 cups of chicken broth, so we're gonna use about 4.5 cups from this. So I'm just gonna take another one of these dishes and dump the chicken into it. It looks like cat food, love that. So that I can use this for the chicken broth to put it into the pot. So according to the recipe, we have pretty much everything prepared. So I'm gonna take you over to the stove now. The recipe says, in a large pot, add the butter and melt over medium heat. Once the butter is melted, and the foaming subsides, add the onion, which we're not doing, and celery, and cook until just tender, about 5 to 6 minutes. So let's go ahead and do that. Ooh. That looks pretty dope on camera though, huh? Oh yeah, cooking mama. So now we're gonna go ahead and add the garlic. Oh yeah. And it says to do this until fragrant, which is about a minute. I find that it's actually a little bit shorter than that. So now we're gonna do the broth, which is about 4.5 cups. We'll go ahead and put the chicken in. Break that up a little. Whoops. It does look a little bit burnt, but I promise it's not. The recipe calls for about 10 ounces of noodles, but again, I'm doing half, so I'm just gonna put in about half of the bag. Go ahead and add the carrots. Mix it in, mix it in, mix it in. Then all of our spices. Go ahead and give everything a stir to get all the spices in. So, now that this is boiling, we got it to a boil, so let me give it a good stir. Look, there's our bay leaf. Just a little stir. We're gonna go ahead and turn this heat off, and I'm gonna move it to the back burner back here, to this back burner, and let it simmer for 20 minutes. So I got this new tripod, and it was only $5 from Five Below, so I'm not that pissed, but it just broke. So I'm glad I got the chunk of this video done, but now basically that the soup is going to be simmering for the next like 15-ish minutes, I'm going to start the grilled cheese. So we're just gonna use this Sunbeam white bread, nothing fancy. Then we're just gonna use these Kraft singles. Listen, you don't get more American than this. That's all I'm gonna freaking say. And some country crock to spread the slices of bread. So yeah. So we're each having one grilled cheese, so I went ahead and spread out each of the pieces of bread buttered. Cheese over there, and I'm gonna go ahead and put this little bit of butter in the pan just to like get it going. So here are all of our grilled cheeses. They're kind of ugly because for some reason all of our big pans are like missing. So now let's go ahead and put the whole ensemble together.
Missing someone.